Hello YouTube pipe community, OTC Piper here. This video is titled A Piper's Guide, Getting Started. This is the first one of hopefully many guide videos that I've wanted to start doing for some time now in my channel for any new pipers that may be looking to get started and need some guidance. There is a wealth of guidance in the YouTube pipe community. I just thought I would throw my 2 cents in there in my channel. So I encourage even more seasoned pipers that may see these videos and comment about it. Share some of your thoughts, some of your ideas. You might have something that works better for you, and it might work better for someone viewing this video as well. So please feel free to chime in. And any new pipers coming up that have any questions, feel free to drop those in the comments. I have a list of topics that I want to do. I've been working on that over the last couple of days, and that's all tentative. If questions keep coming up through the comments, I'll steer my videos towards those questions to make sure that they get answered. But I really have it in mind to go through just about all of the basics, even into some of the more advanced things. Once you get started, you'll kind of find your own way with it. You'll find the things that you like and the things that you don't like. Getting started, I just wanted to talk about the basics that you're going to need to get started, and it's also an opportunity for me to plug for my giveaway, because I have a starter kit that's in there as a secondary prize, and I'm going to pull that out now because in this kit shows just about everything that you're going to need to get started. And to do with this one, if you go back and watch that video, if you're a new piper and you comment "I'm new," you'll be entered in to win the secondary one. You'll also get one entry into the primary one. Do a VR, you get an additional one for the primary. And if this is your first video in the YTPC community, you get even a bonus one. So if you're just getting started in piping and you haven't done any YouTube presentations and you do a VR, this is going to give you a lot of entries and a lot of ways to win either of the prizes. Okay, so I'm going to pull this all out here. This is the actual prize that I pulled out of the box. I'm saving it all in for the drawing date, which is going to be Labor Day. This is just a canvas zipper bag I bought off of Amazon. It's something that can fit in your console, glove box, backpack, wherever you may go. You can kind of keep the basics with you. So I put in here a bundle of cleaners. This is the BJ Longs. This is an 40 count cleaners, pipe cleaners. And everyone's got their own philosophies on cleaning up their pipes. I don't do it every single time I smoke it. I'll do it once a week on the ones that I use regularly. Sometimes the taste and the way it smokes will let me know it's time to do a cleaning. But to each their own. I've got 2 cobs in the starter kit, and I recommend getting you a couple pipes. You don't have to spend a whole lot of money to get a good pipe. I would recommend buying something that's good but maybe a little bit more inexpensive. It's easier on you, if you decide that it's just not for you. You don't have a lot of money that you put into a pipe. And cobs are a good way to go. I have several of them. I even have one here that I am I'm not going to be smoking these days, obviously, because I want to keep them new. But when we go over some packing and everything, I'll use that. In the kit, I put a straight and a bent, so you can kind of develop your preference which one you like. So they're in here. These are about $5 a piece. If you order them online, I've seen these go upwards of $10 at a brick and mortar store. It's, kind of a lot for what they are. But if you go online, everything I'm about to show you can get with a $20 bill if you buy it online. These are about $5 a piece. It's about $1 on the cleaners. So some good starter blends. Before I do that, let me pull out the pipe tool, which we're going to go over in this video. Just a check pipe tool, something simple, bucking some change maybe. It's got 3 different tools on there. And a couple different blends that I think are good starter pipe tobaccos. This is a Prince Albert Cherry Vanilla. It's a light aromatic. You know, it's not a light or underwhelming tobacco. The cherry and the vanilla are more subtle than they are on some. It's a great tobacco. I still enjoy Prince Albert, and it's one of my staples. So there's that one. This one, you know, is a few bucks. Same as this one. This is very time-honored. A blend half and half. Okay, Burley Bright. Which is more like just a Burley and a Virginia mix, ribbon cut. I'm not going to be opening these, obviously. So, anyways, that's about 20 bucks worth, including shipping. Let me get these put back in here. And I was smoking when I started the video. If you didn't want to go the corn cob route, I was just going out on me. I'm about to light up another one, anyways. But this was, you know, probably a $25, $30 pipe. It's a Italian briar. I got it out of brick and mortar. It's a great smoking pipe, and it will do you fine if you'd rather go with a briar, or you know, get some cobs and a briar. You know, this is just a good way to get started. So let me get this put away. So I have another you know, cob similar to the ones that I just showed you in the giveaway stuff. And I'm going to be using some Sir Walter Raleigh. This is probably one of my favorite blends. Just the original blend. And when you get all your stuff and you get ready to sit down, you know, packing your tobacco properly is probably the most important thing you can do. When I first got started, I didn't have any guidance, and keeping it lit and it was just hard to do because I didn't know the proper way to pack it. I've just seen old guys when I was a little kid just stuffing it in a bowl, and I wasn't really paying attention to what they were doing. So when I first got it, I just stuck some in a bowl and lit it up, and it didn't do very well because it wasn't properly done. So if you get the tin like this, it'll be easy. You can just pack it over it. You know, if you get the pouches, you want to sprinkle some out on a cloth or something like that, so you can load it that way, or you know, just load it straight from the pouch. However you find it to be easiest to do. But you take your empty pipe, okay? And there's many different methods. There's many different methods on how to pack a bowl. Just, you know, the simplest way, you know, that I can think to do it is, you know, more like the 3-tamp method. You're going to use your tamp. Now let's go over the tool. This check tool, and you're going to find other pipe tools that have different things on them. You're going to have a scraper, okay? You're going to have an aerator, and you're going to have your tamper right here, okay? Scrapers, you know, when you start to, you know, build up some gunk or something like that, you want to make sure you leave a cake on there. You don't want to scrape it hard every time you smoke it, because you want to develop a cake around the bowl. That's what protects the pipe from being burned up, okay? The aerator is if you get it packed a little bit too tightly, or if you need to disturb it, you know, to retamp it, relight it. You can do it that way. The tamper is obviously just to tamp it down. And, you know, piping is something, it's an art form. It's something that, you know, you engage in all the way through the experience, versus like a cigarette or a cigar that pretty much stays going the entire time. It's time to stop. And we're going to go over that. Let me go ahead and quit rambling here, and we'll go ahead and start packing it. So you take the pipe. You just grab you some tobacco. It's easier for me, you know, when doing it like with a can, because you can go over it. I've gotten to where I could just sit there and do it inside the pouch. But you'll find your way. So you just fill it up to the top. This is easier because it's a little bit finer cut. Okay. I don't like, you know, make sure you don't get into the bad habit of using your finger as a tamper. It works on a limited basis, but get it up to the top. Excuse me. In fact, let me pour me some coffee. My throat's getting a little bit dry. As a side note, I would always recommend that you find something that you like to pair it with. It just makes the experience so much better. I like to pair my tobacco with coffee most of the time. So you got it just loosely up to the top of the pipe. And you're going to tamp it. You're not going to put a lot of pressure on it, okay? you're just going to just more or less like the weight of the tamper. Maybe just a little bit more, but you don't want to go too much with it. And just kind of work it down until it's all even. Okay? Then you're going to top it off. Put a little bit more pressure on the second time. Get it down to where it's even. Because having it packed and even is crucial to getting a good light on it and for it to burn properly. And that's why I discourage the use of just using your finger for the initial one. Sometimes I'll just do that when I know I got a good cake of ash up there and I need to just tighten it up a little bit. I'll just tap it a little bit. But that's not something to worry about at this time. Fill it, top it off again. And this time you're going to firmly press down on it. Shake off any excess or get it in the bowl. So now it's ready to go. I very commonly use a match unless I'm out in windy conditions. You can use a Bic. I would strongly discourage any kind of torch lighters. That's going to burn up your pipe pretty fast. Soft flame is always the way to go. So you can use a Bic, you can use a Zippo. Oh, before I do that, let me talk about draw a little bit. Corn cob is going to draw a little bit. I mean, it's a wider aperture. You're going to get a bit more air through those than you might in some of the briars. Just make sure I draw through it. It should be the consistency of sucking a liquid through a straw. If it seems like you're sucking air into the straw, it is too loose, and you won't keep it lit. If it feels like you're sucking a milkshake through a straw, it's too tight, and you won't get a good light either. And it'll be a very unpleasant experience. It'll burn hot. It's just more stress on you. So if it's a little bit too loose when you suck through it, and before you light it, give it a good tamp. Just tighten it up a little bit. Put some more pressure on it. Get it in there to where it's just about right. If it's too tight, if it's like the milkshake, okay, that's where the aerator comes in handy. You can punch through the tobacco. A lot of times I do it right here at the back wall near the draw hole. Sometimes I've even had the shank clog up, and I would run my tool down there just to make sure it's loose. Speaking of shanks, let's go over the parts of the pipe. Of course, this is the bowl here. This is going to be your shank, and this is going to be your stem. So when I say shank, that's the part I'm talking about. So mine's just about right. I'm going to get a good light on it. Sometimes, most of the time, you have what they call a false light or a charring light. So I'll go get me a couple of matches out now in case I need to go again. There's sometimes I get it lit to suit on the first one, but most of the time I like a good charring light. So you just take it. If you're using a match, make sure all the sulfur burns off of it. Just let it burn down a little bit so you get a good flame on it. And just kind of go in a circular motion over the tobacco, drawing the flame down into the bowl. And you'll see that kind of chars the top of the tobacco. Just kind of give it a good tamp. And then light it again. That match is kind of broken there. I'm going to get me a better one. Oh, that one didn't do good either. There we go. Okay. And now you're off and running. You just keep your tool with you, handy. I'm going to try not to make this too long of a video, but I do want to get to some points in the bowl. So when as it starts burning down, periodically you'll just give it a good tamp. You'll start to build up ash. If it goes out, it's common to have to do a relight, and that's not a bad thing. Doesn't mean you've done anything wrong. It's just kind of the nature of the beast. But you just kind of sit back and sip on it. You want to make sure that you don't get too fast with your draw, or with your cadence is what they call it. Right? Cadence, rhythm. If you go too fast, sometimes you'll build up moisture and more heat that way. Your pipe starts to gurgle a little bit. If you notice, that's usually when you're puffing on it too much. But just sit back and enjoy the bowl. Get you a beverage of your choosing. And I'll do a little bit of rambling about this thing while I'm puffing on this thing. If you're new to piping and I want to know kind of a little bit of where I'm going with this. If you're new to the channel, I mean, you'll notice that when I do a specific type of video, I usually will name them. Like a series, like I have my contemplation series that I like to do. It's not necessarily, one where I'm talking about pipe stuff. It's just things I think about while I'm smoking the pipe, and it definitely plays into the pipe world. I don't do that all the time. I try to get one, maybe two a month. I do a devotional series. And that one I do once a month for the last Sunday of the month. Usually if I can. With my work schedule, if I happen to be working that day, I'll either try to record it prior to that Sunday and then release it on Sunday, or I will do it as soon as I can, either before or after. So, but today I was going over a whole big list of things that I wanted to do. I may, right now I'm calling this a Piper's Guide. I may change it. I've kind of was going over different names for the series. Something whimsical like Lessons in Codgery, or something more artisan like an intro to an art form. I don't know. Right now I just picked the Piper's Guide. That may stick. But if you sub the channel, you'll see them when they come over if you ring the bell. And they will be titled, with appropriately for what we're going over. But when I was going over the list of everything I want to do, I thought, well, let's put the brakes on first. Let's just do one on what you need to get started. It doesn't really do me any good to go over this other things without first going over the basic fundamentals, the basic things you're going to need to get started with it. So we're accomplishing that with this video. I see we're just a little over 18 minutes. I'm going to try to get this out, without rushing through too much. But I don't know what order I'm going to do these in. But I do want to go do an overview of the different types of pipes and different types of tobacco. I'm kind of done loading the bowl on this one. Breaking in a pipe. That's an important one, and there's a lot of different thoughts on that. We're going to look at all the different types like Burley, Virginia Latakia, Turkish, Perique. Might do an overview of the different types and then do a video specifically that goes over in more detail each one of the different types. Different ways that tobaccos are cured. Things like flake cut, plug tobacco, some pouches, some aromatics. These are all basically very simple things that all kind of go around the basic fundamentals of what you need. How do you properly, pack it, light it, sip on it, things like that. We'll go over some other starter equipment. And as a side note, I've got some other topics that we can blend into this that may not be necessarily about the mechanics of it, but some of the deeper things that about why you choose piping even. you know, I like to encourage everyone to think about that as they're doing this. You know, a lot of it's just an appreciation of a time-honored art. You know, but you know, think about that, because you know, when you think about that, it just helps you to appreciate it even more. So, please leave some, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments so that I can take them down. And, you know, take them down and make sure to get a video put out about it, and go from there. So I think that's everything that I wanted to go over. And before I do, I'm gonna get to the point to where it's starting to go out on me. You know, tamp it down a little bit, kind of build up some ash. And there's another thing I always call stoking the ember, where you cover the top of the bowl. It focuses the airflow. It's starting to go out. I'm getting a little bit less. You can coat it with your thumb, coat it with your 2 index fingers. With a little pressure on it. And it kind of comes back to life. A lot of times during my videos, when I'm talking so much, I'm not focused on what I'm doing here. It'll go out on me, and then I'll have to do a relight. But there you go. It gets going again. So, with that, I'll sign off. Just welcome the new pipers to the community. And one thing I'll say before signing off, before you even worry about getting the stuff that you need, I highly recommend you get deeply entrenched and invested in the YouTube pipe community, because there's so many presenters in the community that put out such great content and that have just a wealth of knowledge to share. So become involved with that. I encourage you, if you have the the capabilities, get a channel, get some videos put out, from your account. Set up a channel and join in with us. So with that, I just like to encourage you to keep going. I definitely think that you're going to enjoy this. I certainly have. It's enriched my life greatly. So with that, I'll sign off. OTC Piper, wishing everybody all the best. Here's a good times and a warm pipe.